awesome was that?
Like most of us, late October and November are deer months for me. This year, I'm really making the most of this time, and I nicknamed it the 2018 Deer Tour. I'll be hunting some familiar areas as well as brand new spots, hunting both whitetail and mule deer, using both archery gear and rifle in 4 different states in a little over 3 weeks. This tour will start with me hunting a new state, Ohio, with some good friends, chasing pre-rut whitetails with the bow. From there, I will head to Wyoming, where I've never hunted whitetails, to catch the tail end of the rifle season for that area. The whitetail part of the tour will wrap up in Nebraska, a place very familiar to me during the rifle season. After this, I will head to Colorado, where I'm hunting mule deer on a place I've hunted the previous 2 years.
Well, it's been a whirlwind couple of days. I left Bozeman, Montana yesterday, drove to Denver, stayed the night with my mom. Was up about 4 o'clock this morning, hopped on a plane. Now I'm here in Ohio in a tree less than 12 hours later. It's the first time I've ever hunted Ohio. Tom Petrie and Nick Ventura from Become One invited me out, and jumped at the chance, number one, to share a camp with them. And they've had a relationship with Ray of Mainframe Outfitters for a couple of years, so it's been about over a month since I've been hunting whitetails. I was up in Alberta, so it's pre-rut. Never know what's going to happen. They've got some good bucks on trail cam. I've also got some new toys that I'm looking forward to trying. Fox Pro came out with a Buck Pro, which is their electronic deer calling system. And it's legal here in Ohio to use electronic calls, so I'm looking forward to trying it. Stand like 45 minutes and looked up and there was a really nice 10 coming in. He's got a kicker off his right G3. Nice looking deer. Probably got 60, 70 yards up, and he looked up and either caught some movement or something, didn't like what he saw, and played that, put the head down, come up, game a couple times, and then just turned and walked off. That almost would have been too fast. I'd have taken him for sure, but that would have been a short hunt. Awesome looking deer. He's not too spooked. He's just hung up out there about 150 yards away. That was awesome. Just not awesome enough.
All those batteries in my pocket because I didn't think they were going to be trash. And then I put the rope. See, that's exactly what happened. I'm like, I'm not going to put the rope in with the batteries because he's going to want the batteries somewhere else. So I went like this with the rope and forgetting I put the battery in there, or the key in there. So then I'm like, hey, where do you want the batteries? And he goes, just put it with the trash. I'm like, oh, whoosh, wham. So I put
But at least you remembered that. How many times
I did.
Like, what happened? It was here. Where did it go?
Oh, well, dude, I checked the same 2 pockets.
Unfortunately, the first encounter I had with a buck was the only encounter I had with a buck. The weather didn't cooperate, raining every single day, keeping us from the stand occasionally and certainly affecting deer movement. Regardless, it was a great time in camp, spending time with new friends and old. This segment is brought to you by Siberian Coolers. Be the alpha, own the alpha. Well, just crossed over into Wyoming from Colorado, heading north, hunting up in the northwestern part of Wyoming with Brendan Ryan and Fill Your Tag Outfitters. This hunt came about through a friend I met through Train to Hunt a couple of times, Jeff Mott. This is his in-laws' property. He reached out this spring and suggested I put in for the tag. They don't do a lot of outfitting on this property, but said I should put in for the tag. I drew the tag. I've only got 3 days to get it done, but Brendan feels pretty confident we'll get it done. He's got some good bucks spotted, and they killed a good one a couple of days ago, so I'm looking forward to it.
Heading to the stand first thing this morning. Brendan's walking me out there. We got a bit of a walk. No vehicles, so anxious to see what it looks like and what comes up in the daylight. Well, it's been a little slow this morning. I've only seen a couple of does and a spike. They may still be up on their feet. It's still cold, only about 19 degrees, but Brendan and I text back and forth, and I think I'm gonna go in, get something to eat, warm up, and then we may go for a drive and or a walk. Yeah, familiarize me with the property a little bit and see what we can see. Out in the field. That's a good sign. We'd love to see a big buck come out there, but the deer are on their feet now, so. That was pretty cool. Can't believe she's all by herself. Was really hoping a big buck could be following her. Well, it looks like Wyoming's a wrap. It's tough to make a hunt happen in 3 days, but we'll get up tomorrow, head to Nebraska.
Well, I just arrived here in Nebraska from Wyoming, and wished I'd have got here in enough time to go sit in a stand tonight, but I'm just going to spend some time and unload. I've only got about an hour and I couldn't get everything ready, so I'll do some laundry from the last hunt and have some food, watch some football, and hopefully watch some deer and get a sense of what's going on around here. One thing that's fun about this place is it's just surrounded by wild game. I mean, you got geese and ducks flying into the corn, you got deer cruising up and down the river. Big open spot here, you can just watch them transition. So even when you're not out in the field, you get your wildlife fix. It's a ton of fun.
There's a light dusting of snow, which wasn't in the forecast, and there's a few flakes flying now. So the weather's perfect. There's a doe out there.
chased a doe off into the brush, but call it a morning. Not all that unproductive, but didn't get the heart racing too much. A lot of ducks and geese flying around, so if the deer hunting doesn't pan out, maybe we'll go chase some birds. This segment is brought to you by the sharpest, strongest replaceable blade knives that never need sharpening from Outdoor Edge. Night Eyes gear makes every adventure easier, safer, and more fun. Night Eyes is life's adventure kit. Day 2 in Nebraska is starting out with good deer weather, and I have high hopes for an all-day sit.
It's the first little bit of run activity I've seen, so hopefully there's more to be had. That's what we need. Give me a little better shot than that. But at least they're up on their feet. Well, that's a good sign. Took a while to see the first deer. But a couple of bucks seem to be out cruising in that half rack. Saw this doe that was right down here at my right. Came brushing across the foot plot to chase her. There's a buck. For this afternoon, it's a lot warmer. I mean, it's pushing 60 degrees, and it's pretty still. But my hopes are dwindling, unfortunately. Got about 10 minutes of light left, and that's all she wrote for tonight. Had better expectations.
Well, I'm almost to my destination here in Colorado. Getting ready for my 3rd season rifle mule deer hunt. Same place I've hunted the last couple of years and have a little bit of history with. 2 years ago, missed an absolute giant buck. And turned out that my scope was a little bit off and didn't sight in when I first got there, even though I'd sighted it in 2 days before after travel, and shame on me. And then last year killed a good, respectable 3x4. But that was 2nd season. This is 3rd season. Weather's shaping up to be just potentially ideal with some snow and some cold weather. 3rd season, the rut getting closer, so I'm really excited.
Starting day 1 here in Colorado for the mule deer hunt. Pretty impressed last night scouting the number of deer that are here. And we saw a few good bucks. It snowed a little overnight. It's cold. Expecting more snow over the next few days, so it's setting up to be a pretty good hunt. I've been out here for a few hours. I've only seen a doe and a fawn. I just think with this wind and the snow that they're hunkered down. Forecast is calling for a little break this afternoon in the weather, and I think they'll probably be on their feet moving and feeding, so
This segment is brought to you by Fox Pro and their new Buck Pro electronic deer call.
Much prettier, better deer day this morning. Yesterday they were just hunkered down, windy and snowy. It's crisp, clear, and cold this morning, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we might see this morning. We saw some deer last night, and there's supposed to be some weather this afternoon, so hopefully they'll be on their feet, getting ready for a little snow this afternoon. Position, he has no clue we're here. He's bedded, and I don't have a clear shot. All we can really see is his head. So I think you need to back out with some elevation, swing around, and see if we might be able to get a better shot at him. Gotta be able to see his body. Awesome. I guess a few more deer. I don't think that's my best buck ever. That's why I love coming here. A lot of deer, a lot of good deer moving in and out. And we're not that far from the highway that borders the ranch. We're able to spot him from the highway, but still have to make a stalk. He was bedded up there, had no clue we were here, had to work up, didn't have a shot work around. Finally got a great shot. Third year I've hunted up here, and now I've got my best buck to date. I couldn't be more thrilled. That is just so awesome.
He's gorgeous, man.
What an awesome buck. Look at him.
I'm tickled to death. I'm really happy.
He's an awesome deer, man.
This was a whirlwind couple of weeks. Even though I wasn't successful in many of the states, it didn't diminish my enjoyment of this tour. I was able to hunt in some new areas, as well as hunt some very familiar spots where I have some cool history. In Nebraska, I spent time in the field entirely by myself, which I enjoy from time to time. And on the other hunts, I spent time in camp with great people. Some I've known for years, and others I met on these hunts. Hunting to me is far more about the kill and about the overall experience. This tour was a great experience.